It's few weeks to the FIFA World Cup in Qatar, and top nations are tightening up preparations to slug it out for a chance to become the best footballing nation come Qatar 2022. And unfortunately, Nigeria will not be participating, but nothing to worry about. The football will be gracing our TV screen, and of course, we will definitely pick up a team to support. And also, the Premier League is absolutely buzzing. Liverpool sleeping from all cylinders, lost at home last weekend, and of course, narrowing their chance of making it top for the season. You won't say early days, time will tell. And Victor Osimhen scoring his first hat-trick with Napoli. What a goal that was. Maybe our player of the week will bring you that one. My name is Brownson, and welcome on the program today. Let's take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll give you all the actions we have for you today on the program, so don't go away. The greatest football showpiece lands in Qatar as 32 teams slug it out or become the next world champion.
The World Cup is a platform where gladiators meet for bragging rights.
Now talking about bragging rights, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Robert Lewandowski. Now how can I forget Kylian Mbappe, top players to look out for.
Will the Dietitian be able to make it happen for France this time around? How about Roberto Martinez from Belgium? Not forgetting, from the African continent, our new season from Flamingos.
Catch all the analysis
right here on Sport FIFA.
Welcome back. Now, in the past weeks, we've been looking at the groups in the World Cup, and we've analyzed Group A, B, and C. Now, today on the program, we're looking at two groups because of the limited time we have before the kickoff of the World Cup. So, today on the program, we'll be talking about and analyzing Group D and Group E. And of course, my strike partner, Olakunle Philip, is with me today on the program, and he joins me at this time. Kunle, thank you so much for coming on the program today again.
Yeah, thank you very much. Top of the day to you, Brownson. It's great to be here once again to talk sport. It's just sad that Nigeria will not be at the World Cup despite all the players' exploits at their various clubs. So sad. Victor Osimhen will not be there. Ademola Lookman with great performances will not be at the World Cup, and also Taiwo Awoniyi and host of other players from Nigeria who will not be making it to the World Cup.
Kunle, I tell you, if national team was like a football club, maybe some of this national team would have been struggling to sign Victor Osimhen right now with his scoring prowess. But of course, I think World Cup would miss Victor Osimhen and some of our top players in Nigeria, but we have to do well in the next edition. Now, let's look at the two groups today. Group D and E would be featured on the program, and in Group D we have France, Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia. Now, Tunisia, one of the representatives of the continent, talking about Africa, and they will be slowing it out with Denmark and Australia. Now, if you look at the list, Kule, you would think that Australia should be the whipping boys, but anyone that wants to might just want to underrate Australian national team in this group should watch their back. Yeah,
the Australian team has been playing very well, and you will know that. I think in Oceanic, and also at times they play from the Asia continent. So I think the Australian team are a very formidable team. We cannot, the teams in that group cannot afford to underrate them. But I think when you talk about the top team in that group, it has to be France, and the French national team are the defending champion. They won it in 2018. They have 2 titles at their disposal, and of course they've got classical players in Kylian Mbappe and host of other top players also in their rank. So I think the second team that might likely qualify after the French national team has to be Denmark or probably Australia. I really don't see the Tunisians are really going far in this tournament. I watch their games at the Nations Cup. I watch some of the friendly games they played. They don't look like a team that can actually spring surprises. But then it's possible, it's nothing when it comes to the round leg. The French national team has also, there are times that they just switch off gear when you least expect them to. Remember they won the World Cup in 2018, and in 2020 they could not qualify beyond the round of 16 in Euro 2020, where they lost to Switzerland in the round of 16. So, and they came back again 2021, they played in the final of the UEFA Nations League where they defeated Spain as well. So I think for the French national team, we hope that they will not switch off when hostilities begin at the World Cup. But then I'm looking at the French national team winning the group and also followed closely by probably Denmark.
All right, Denmark has been featured as one of the team. Has been favourite according to Kule as one of the team to qualify for the next round. But the Tunisian national side leave no stone unturned. I think they will fight, but will their fight be enough to get them to the next round? Time definitely will tell. Now let's look at Group E. Group E has a very interesting pairings. We have Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan. Now, on paper, at this point, you can just give it to Spain and Germany to go out of this group. But then, Costa Rica, over the years, have also showed that they can prove or bring lots of upset to the table. Now, the Japanese national side could be a very tricky tie again. But if you look at the Spanish national team, we hear that David De Gea has been dropped from the squad. And
very surprising.
It's surprising because if you look at the goalkeeping departments right now in Europe, I think, regardless of how United is performing, which I think they're not really doing very badly.
Absolutely.
I think David De Gea deserves a team in the Spanish national team.
Yeah, it deserves a spot, and I don't think that most of the goalkeepers that have been pitched that has been named above him are as good as he is. And
Kepa is going to the World Cup ahead of David De Gea.
On current form presently, Kepa has not been doing badly, but I think in terms of experience, in terms of performance, I want to give it to David De Gea. It looks more better and more composed than the rest of the goalkeepers that the coach has actually played. I think it has to do with personal issues. I think David De Gea has a misunderstanding with the coach, and I think if you're a coach and you feel that a certain player will give you troubles, remember what Pep Guardiola used to do. If you are the type that makes out trouble, it will drop you. Even if you are the best player in the world, it will make you feel that he is in charge of the team, he's in control of the team. So I think that's the major reason. If we are looking at performances for clubs and for national team, I think on the basis of that, I think David De Gea deserves a spot in that team. But then that's left for the coach to decide.
All right, David De Gea, of course, has been dropped out of the Spanish national team, and it's surprising. But if you look at the Spanish, let's even look at the firing power, the midfield. Now, for me, I think this group is between Germany and Spain. Now, if you look at this group, the Spanish national team, they play possession football, they enjoy holding on to football, spring those passes, and of course, get those goals. And also looking at the German national side, the German machine, they enjoy playing, they enjoy playing their football from the wing, power play, and they get those boys, Kai Havertz, and could, hurt any team at that point. If you look at the striking force of these two teams, who do you think has got it the most?
Well, I think for the Spanish national team, they've won the World Cup once, and you know that they are blessed with top players in persons of Alvaro Morata, who can deliver any day, anytime. And also that young man who broke into prominence about 2 seasons ago, Ansu Fati, who can hurt, a young man who can hurt any team, any day, anytime. This is a team that is most likely the team tipped to go all the way at the World Cup. Talking about the Spanish national team. Let's not also forget the German national team, like we call them the German machine. One of the teams who have won the World Cup more after the Brazilian national team. Talking about they've won the World Cup on 4 different occasions, and they are blessed with players like Serge Gnabry. They've got Havertz as well. Havertz plays from the wing. Is someone who can also hurt the opposition any day, anytime. So I think it's a game. It's a group where those two teams I have mentioned are most likely to progress, because if you're talking about the probable teams to win the World Cup, the most likely teams to win the World Cup, you always want to mention
any of these two.
Yeah, any of these two. So I think it will be an upset if this or one of these two teams do not quite go beyond this the first round.
So Kule, if you're asked between Germany and Spain, which of the teams do you think would top the table? What would be your favorite?
It's a difficult call, because it depends on how the team starts the tournament, because the Spanish national team at times they tend to switch off as well. Just the way the French national team also switches off once in a while. The German national team also, there was a time that they were not even in prominence. Their football dwindled. So I think any of the two teams, it's difficult to pick the team that might likely be topping. But you know, looking at the performances of the players for both club and country, I think I want to say that the German national team might likely be topping the team.
All right. Now, with this analysis, it seems like Costa Rica and Japan in this group are just spectators.
It will be a great upset if any of the two teams progress.
But, you know, in football, you just can't write any of this team off. Anything can happen. On that note, we'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll be looking at some other stories trending in the world of sports. Don't go away. All right, welcome back. Now, there have been buzz about the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, and it was fantastic. We saw a very good performance. For me, I want to use this time to appreciate all the nations that participated, whether they crashed in the first round or some that didn't get to score a goal. I think qualifying to the World Cup, that's why it's called World Cup Final. It starts from the preliminary stages. For you to get to the finals where you fight for the trophy, it's a very big achievement, and we saw arrays of stars, not just the Flamingos. They did very well, and I mean for the Indian team, I thought they were fantastic. You know, most times people want to remember the 101 that I never know really happened in football. But we thought,
I don't know what you mean by we thought, you know, saying the Indian national team are fantastic. Because they were the whipping
they're not
the group.
They're not a footballing nation. Yeah, I mean, really, for me, I think it's I'm just appreciating everything.
They considered over 11 goals in the tournament without scoring a single
goal. But I mean, at least they gave us a very good hosting.
Absolutely.
So I mean, it's something to smile about.
Kudos to them. Kudos to them. They did well in that regard. But talking about performance of the tournament, I think they were really very poor because they lost all their games. They lost to Tunisia 3-0. I think to USA they considered 4 goals, and they also lost to Brazil by as many as 6 goals to nothing. So they went back home. They stayed with the basket of goals, you know, to their respective homes. But as far as the organization is concerned, it was really very solid. And then we say kudos to the Indian Football Federation for giving us such a wonderful tournament.
Now, Kule, talking about the Indian team, I mean, do you think in the next 4 years, the ladies that we saw, or the girls, I mean, at 17, they are girls, the girls that we saw wouldn't have improved when it gets to the 20?
Are you talking about the Indian?
Yeah, the Indian national team. Yeah. You see,
well, we hope so. We hope so. I think in terms of talent, when it comes to football, the Indians are known for to be very good in cricket,
yeah,
and some other sports. You know, they are always doing very well in cricket World Cup. But when it comes to football, I think in terms of talent, they are really lacking behind. And if they keep the girls together, expose them, play friendly games, and of course, you know, play against some top teams, top female teams in Europe and probably in America, North and South America, the team could be a dominable force in the nearest future.
That's what it is. And to Flamingos, I think they put up a very good show. And we saw talents that, for me, I think can progress to the under-20. Don't forget that some of our girls from the under-20 cadet level has moved to Super Falcons. So it will be a smooth transition. I mean, I think for female football, I must say that the talent I saw in this tournament gave me hope that we are going to dominate African football for a very long time.
Yeah, I think that's one of the major things I really enjoyed as far as the tournament is concerned. The under-20 team, we had Sebastian Flourish emerging from that team, as well as Onyene Side. These are girls who are doing very well presently, and Onyene Side, as well as the captain of the team, have actually been they've moved to the senior national team. And in this tournament, I think we've seen some good players emerging from this team. And like you said, in the nearest future, we'll get to see some of these girls. That's why I think the the world, the Africa and the African continent, they are watching us, and we are able to assemble players together, and they were able to go this far. The under-20 got as far as the quarterfinal, while this team got to the semi-final. So in the nearest future, that was the same way as Asisat Oshoala and the others. They came into prominence and they dominated Africa. So I think in about 5-6 years to come, we will see these girls really are doing very well in Africa. Keep winning they continue to win the African Women Cup of Nations and also do very well at the World Cup. Yeah,
we should start winning World Cup. I think we've had enough AFCON titles.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, now talking about Nigeria and players emanating from the continent. Victor Osimhen last weekend put up a very good performance, scoring it's a breathtaking hat-trick from the first to the second to his third goal that made it his first hat-trick in Serie A. I watched that game. Osimhen's movement, his positioning may not have had too many touches on the ball because of the game, but when the ball came to him, he knew exactly what to do with the ball, and he delivered at every given opportunity.
Yeah, he has 6 touches in total. And put buried 3 at the back of the net. One thing I love about Osimhen and Coach Spalletti, people were castigating him that he shouldn't have fielded Osimhen. Immediately Osimhen came back from injury because the likes of Raspadori has been doing very well, and Simon also has not been doing badly. But it's when these coaches see the players, when they look at players and their abilities, they know exactly when and how to play them. You can't keep an Osimhen on the bench because he's a player who works 90 minutes without resting. He's always hungry to get the ball. And he will tell, I saw the game against Asolo, was telling player, please pass the ball, come on, let me have the ball. And once Osimhen has the ball, you know that the tendency that the ball will go into the net is almost like 60%, and the defenders are always afraid of him. 7 goals are right now in the Italian Serie A. It's a massive one, joint top scorer. And I see Osimhen getting as many goals as possible. Then it's also very important, Brown said, that this should not get it to his head, because almost all pundits are saying is the best striker in the Italian Serie A right now. Some are even saying after Haaland is second to Haaland right now in the world. So that should not get into his head, because he still has a lot of grounds to break. They're still playing the UEFA Champions League, and Napoli has not won the Scudetto in a very long time.
And they're in a very good position right now to do that.
But Bronson, let's not forget, AC Milan are following them closely. They are chasing them, and I think that one problem that Napoli seems to always have, when the
second half of the season,
they begin to throw their foot off the gas pedal and allow Juve in the past to get past them, the same way Inter also did 2 seasons ago, and also AC Milan last season. So I think they need to focus, and I really love what Spalletti is doing right now. He's got classical players. He's got Simeone. He's got Raspadori. If any of these players, when they are brought into fray, they will deliver. Yeah. So I think it's a very good one for Napoli and also for Victor Osimhen. We hope that he will continue to score goals. And look, when you look at the first goal scored by Victor Osimhen, Brownson, I remember what Spalletti said. He said he's a player who wants to do everything all by himself. When he gets the ball, he doesn't look at anybody. He wants to score the ball. And it reminds me of Rashidi Yekini. We hope that he will continue to score as many goals as possible. And of course, break the records in the Italian Serie A. And of course, win the Scudetto for the club.
Winning the Scudetto is very important. Let's take a very quick break. We'll be back with more stories. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now, the English Premier League is absolutely buzzing, and apart from maybe Arsenal and Manchester City right now, we don't know which team will make it to the top 4 this season. It's looking very, very dicey and tricky at this point. Now, what happened to Chelsea? Now, on Potter's return to Brighton, he got, will I say, not an heroic welcome, but of course an embarrassing moment. 4-1 it ended, Kunle. And don't forget that he had played 9 games. It was an unbeaten run. He was yet to lose a game as a Chelsea manager before he travelled to Brighton. And he got there, his former teammates said, okay, we've got you. For losing confidence in us, we're going to show you. And of course, they did that in a grand style.
Yeah, they did it in a grand style. A very disappointing performance from the coach and also his players. I think this has been knocking on the door because if you watch some of the games the Chelsea team has been playing, they've been playing without purpose, without pattern, and it's just we watch the game they even played against Manchester United. They were lucky to have run out with a draw. They were lucky to have gotten a point in that game. So I think this has been knocking on the door. And against the Brighton side, who for me this season has been a very difficult team to beat. You expect that these players will actually rise to the occasion. And I think I still question why if you watch most games that Raheem Sterling has played this season, he's been far. He's been a shadow of his old self, because this is not the Raheem Sterling we watched 2-3 seasons ago in the colours of Manchester City. And he has failed to deliver.
Raheem Sterling in Man City and at Liverpool, they play a 4-3-3 formation where he plays in the straight line with one of the forward lines. But at Chelsea, his position is different. Chelsea's style of play is different. They have more guys in the midfield, and it makes it a little choky for him. No place to move.
He switches to the wing at times. So I think that when you play in the midfield and you have a chance to switch to the midfield, which for me has always been his strength, he should do so. But we've not seen those moves, those mesmerizing moves that we used to see of Raheem Sterling. It's also very wasteful. I think some people will say that he has actually become a spent force. And I'm wondering, why can a man who is not even up to 30 years become a spent force? So I think it's one of the reasons why Chelsea are not doing very well. But for Potter, I think it was a baptism of fire, returning back to his former club and then getting bashed by as many as 4 goals to 1. It's not going to get better, because they are going to be meeting Arsenal, in the coming weekend. If they are not at their best, they will also get bashed at the Stamford Bridge. In
recent times, Anfield has been a fortress for most teams. I mean, back-to-back, they've lost. Is it back-to-back home games now?
The last one was away.
Was away game, yeah. But they have lost a game, 2 games this season, right there in their home ground, and it's shocking to see that it seemed like a team that was this close to sacking their manager picked form. About Leeds United. Picked form with Liverpool, and it was a sad weekend for
a very sad one, a disappointing one.
I must say it affected me as well.
For stakers, it was a disappointing one because no one actually saw that coming. A struggling Leeds United are going to Anfield to secure the 3 maximum point. I think it's really not been a very good season for Liverpool so far. They've been struggling and they've been losing on some games, back-to-back losses against teams
relegation threatened
teams. Nottingham Forest over there, and coming up to lose again at Anfield against this United. I think it's a very disappointing one. That's why it's imperative that they begin to wake up. And I think when you look at that game against this United, Nunes missed a whole lot of scoring chances, as well as Salah.
It's Klopp running out of ideas.
It's a very disappointing. When things like this happen, you really discover that they are really missing the services of Sadio Mane. There is no doubt about that, because the Liverpool we've watched over the years, when things are not happening, when they are struggling, some players come to, seems always rise to the occasion. I was telling someone before the game between Arsenal and Liverpool that, it's going to be difficult for Liverpool to beat Arsenal. I remember that anytime Liverpool plays against Arsenal and you have a certain Sadio Mane starting that game, you will always rest assured that Arsenal will not be able to beat Liverpool. And look at what is happening right now. Nunes is disappointing. Mo Salah has been absolutely inconsistent, and it's looking like there's nobody to really inspire the team. If care is not taken, I think the coach might just be might be booted out anytime from now.
Or maybe they'll be playing the Conference League. All right. Of course, just to also mention that Liverpool also missed the services of Luis Diaz and Diogo Jota. Now, these 2 players are very pivotal in the way that Liverpool play. Just maybe if Luis Diaz has played, it would have been a very different game. But how many big teams do we even have in Europa this season?
Yeah, you've got Atletico, you've got Juve, you've got Arsenal, and you've got some
Manchester United.
Manchester United also.
You also have AS Roma.
Absolutely.
What's it already? It's looking like Europa this season will be is even more will be more interesting than even the Champions League.
Yeah, it now depends on whether the teams will field a formidable team in those games.
That's European title. For instance, Barcelona have not won any European title since Guardiola left.
Yeah,
that's over 8 years thereabouts.
Absolutely.
So they want to win that. Atletico Madrid has not won Europa title for as far as I can remember. Arsenal. Let's not even talk about Arsenal. The last time, Juve, I can't even remember the last time. For Manchester United, maybe about 6 years ago when the Jose Mourinho was a coach. So we see that the teams, strong teams, and they're all very hungry. So for all those that have been criticizing Europa League, maybe you should think again this season, because all these top guns will be gunning out for the Europa title. How did we get there? Wakule, thank you so much for calling the program today.
Yeah, it's always my pleasure to be here.
All right, that's my final whistle on the program today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Now, a very big thank you for all our mailing audience. Thank you so much. Read your mails, and we feel really good about that. Now, if you're not following us on our social media platforms, especially on our Facebook, it's Sport Pizza. It's a page. Just like most of the conversation we have here in the studio, we take it to our Facebook page, and then you can interact with myself, you can interact with Kunle and our other community members. So, like our page now, go to our YouTube channel. It's Sport Pizza. It's very easy. Subscribe to watch all our content. It is absolutely free. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Brownson Wana. Until we meet again next week, please stay safe.